Chaos.radio. Music, podcasts, entertainment.
Hello and welcome to the latest edition of NEWSWAVE, written, produced and recorded in the heart of Cornwall by the team here at Chaos Radio. I'm your host, Tom Howe, and I'll be guiding you through some of the insightful guests and exciting news content that we've enjoyed across Chaos Radio this past week. On today's show, we join Mark Hoskin from Higher Tregorrick Farm to discuss one of this summer's brightest attractions, the stunning St Austell Sunflower Trail. We check in with fire officers Andrew Brier and Martin Giles to get the latest news and advice from St Austell Community Fire Station. As well as that, we take a trip to Chaos Farm to meet head grower Rich Hardy to learn more about their innovative community programmes, equine assisted learning, farm placement days, and the cultivation of nutrient-rich foods for local distribution. If all that wasn't enough, we hear from Annie Kenton of Transparent Presence CIC, who have been shortlisted for a National Diversity Award in recognition of their work with Cornwall's transgender and non-binary communities. And we welcome Sam Lawrence, co-director of Dance Centred CIC, to celebrate the organisation's inspiring work, making dance accessible for all.
NEWSWAVE.
Right, where to start? If you're looking for the perfect place to wander around, unwind, and soak up a bit of nature over the next few weeks, you might just be in luck. Here's Mark Hoskin from Higher Tregorrick Farm, who joined presenter Ross Lannon to discuss the stunning St Austell Sunflower Trail. Mark tells us more about the experience, what goes into creating it, and what visitors can expect from the fields.
NEWSWAVE.
We're on I think it's our fourth year now. I can't claim to have the idea myself. My brother actually did one a year before us up in Dorset, where he farms for a local charity. So we thought, well, let's give it a go. So we planted a field, 4 years ago. Usually the end of April, May time we plant them. And then really it's over to nature to hope they grow. And luckily, touch wood, for 4 years they have grown. So this year we have about 6 acres of sunflowers. They're anywhere from sort of 3 foot to 6 foot tall now. And we opened on Saturday. It varies every year. We're about a week earlier this year because of the sunshine and the weather has been a bit drier. As they come out into bloom, we open. We should be open for 2.5, 3 weeks, depending on how long the flowers last. More or less everyone's welcome to come along. We do it for local charities. It'd be good to see people there.
Yeah, it is such a great thing to have locally here in St Austell, because like a lot of people, like, you see these beautiful sunflower seeds on fields online and things like that, and it just looks incredible. But to actually have it here in Cornwall is brilliant. It really is. And like you said, it's for all ages as well, for families, whether you're older or younger. It's just a nice little thing to come out and experience, isn't it?
It is. It's something slightly different. I mean, people have been doing mazes for a long time. And this is something completely different. It brightens everyone's day up. Great for the children as well to go around. There's lots of information boards around about sunflowers and bees. Actually, at the weekend, we have a couple of people who are beekeepers who set up a little stand with a hive and can tell you all the information you need to know about the bees and everything around the trail. We've got a little children's play area, refreshment van. It's a few hours of wandering around, having a great time. And hopefully, as I say, we can carry on for 2 or 3 weeks anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And so there's 2 different walking routes, isn't there? Tell us a little bit about that and what people can expect inside the trail.
Yeah, there's a long trail and a shorter trail. The shorter trail is roughly about 400 metres. The longer trail is just under 1 kilometre. Obviously, depending on how fast or slow you want to do it, it's kind of really 3/4 an hour is the longer trail. But as I say, there are loads of information boards around that you can find out different things about sunflowers and what happens with them, what the uses for them are, and about the wildlife and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's just really you come in, you walk around, you can take as long as you like. As I say, there's something for the children to do at the end of it, sit and have an ice cream or a cup of tea or a piece of cake. Really come along. And it's done, we split half the profits of the trail with Cornwall Hospice Care and Children's Hospice Southwest. We like to keep it local as a charity. We live within a few hundred metres of both of them. And they've actually got a couple of events on over the next couple of weeks as well. So keep an eye on their websites and our website and Facebook page. All the information will be on there.
Brilliant. I mean, if it wasn't great enough that there's this, fantastic opportunity to come and enjoy a day out looking at these flowers, the fact it's for charity as well. Do you know kind of off the top of your head what you guys have raised so far, either this year or just since you've been doing it over the last 4 years?
I should know the figure, and I think it's something like £20,000 over the last 4 years, and I should know that, but no, accurately I don't is the honest answer. But no, I mean last year I think it was like £6,000 or something each we raised for them. So yeah, it's great, the support of the local community, and as I say, the money is staying locally as well.
Brilliant. It is fantastic. We've had a message come in from one of our listeners. Chrissy says, are pets allowed around the walk as well?
We do welcome pets, yes. Well-behaved pets on lead, not a problem whatsoever. We even had a cat do the trail this week on a lead, which is a first for us. So, yeah, dogs are more than welcome.
That's incredible. I can also vouch for that, Chrissy, because when I went at the weekend, I took my little dog as well. And yeah, he loved it. He was sniffing around. It was great. And I must just say a special shout out to Sharon, your wife, because she was absolutely fantastic. So I'm a wheelchair user, and obviously when you mix wheelchairs with fields, there's always that risk of mud, and especially because we didn't have the best of weather on over the weekend, and I got a little bit muddy, but Sharon was incredible. She even gave me my wheels a little wash down afterwards. It was brilliant. And you don't get you don't get an experience like that in many places. So bless her, she went all out. I was very impressed.
Yeah, no, I'll pass that on to her. But no, it's obviously it's in a field, so appropriate footwear. But you obviously pick the wet day. It's been sunny ever since. Today it's a little bit cloudy, a little bit damp, but I think the forecast for the next 10 days is looking good.
Absolutely. So we've talked about the charity aspect of it. Do you want to just give our listeners a little guide on pricing and what people can expect to be donating if they come and visit?
Yeah, sure. So entry is £5 and under fives are free. And so half of the actual profit on the entry for the trail goes and it's split equally between the two charities. As I say, there's a refreshment van and then a little children's play area with some sand pits and a couple of games. But no, it's half the trail proceeds go towards the charities anyway.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant stuff there. And obviously we're all enjoying the end result now for the next few weeks. These sunflowers, they're looking beautiful. But obviously you've had months of preparation getting all this work done. Growing a field of sunflowers doesn't just happen overnight. So what has that kind of preparation been like for you?
Yeah, well, we started, obviously last year we chose which field it was going in, and then we started preparation in the spring. We planted them, I think it was the end of April this year. After that, you kind of just, it's in the lap of the gods that they grow all right, and they do. And they're a very fast-growing plant. So we cut the trail a few weeks ago just before they get too big and would make it really hard work. So we go in and with a strimmer, lawnmower, cut the trail around, and then I must admit Sharon does most of the work. She tidies it up and keeps it looking good. We kind of do that and then really just wait for them to come out in bloom. And we're on, it's a bit of a slope, and one end of the field was about a week ahead of the other, but that also means that hopefully it'll last a bit longer. There'll be blooms for the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It is a fantastic event, and I'm so glad you guys are, giving this opportunity to local people, raising money as well. It is fantastic. On a final note, Mark, do you want to just remind our listeners, where can people find the farm for those that are local and want to attend?
Yeah, so we are, the easiest way of describing it is we're opposite St Austell Rugby Club. We've got a website of highertregorrickfarm.co.uk. The Sunflower Trail is on Facebook and Instagram. And the field literally looks over the A390 that runs along St Austell. So not difficult to find. If you can find the rugby club, you can find us.
Perfect. And hey, we should just mention as well, it's not just sunflowers you guys do. You're also known for the pumpkin patch as well. That's coming up soon, isn't it?
Yeah, we opened the pumpkin patch a couple of years ago, and you can view that as well. They're coming along nicely. They're in a corner of the field where the sunflowers are. And also we never quite knew what to do with the sunflowers when we finished with them. So we were thinking about harvesting them, but for the last 3 years, we've left them over winter, and the birds love them all winter. It feeds thousands of birds each winter. So when we open the pumpkin patch in October, if you wish, you can wander around the trail. It'll look a bit different by then because the flowers will have died off a bit. But yeah, more than welcome to wander around then. And the pumpkin patch will be open, as I say, October will definitely be open, October half term. And again, keep an eye out on our socials for that.
Oh, brilliant stuff. This is the season that I love. I love all this, the pumpkins, the sunflowers. Brilliant. Absolutely love it. Mark, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for chatting to us on Chaos Radio today. And fingers crossed the weather holds out for the next few weeks so more people can come and enjoy the Sunflower Trail at your farm.
Lovely. Thanks very much, and looking forward to seeing everyone.
NEWSWAVE.
Right, it's time now to hear from fire officers Andrew Brier and Martin Giles, who joined Cheryl Gordon to highlight how St Austell Community Fire Station goes beyond emergency response and has become an essential part of community life. They discuss their innovative work supporting people living with dementia, the importance of community engagement and recruitment into the fire service, as well as previewing their upcoming open day and much more besides.
NEWSWAVE.
Like you said, obviously we are here, obviously ready to respond to any emergency. Obviously that includes us training, or what we class as drilling. That might be in the backyard at the station here, or we might be off station. We've got plenty of nice areas around here where we can go and practice our trainings, which is quite nice. But yeah, we like I said, we don't just do emergencies. We do also do a lot within the community. We either go out into the community or they come to us. We've recently had a memory club in St Austell, which we've been working closely with. People that obviously suffer with dementia. They may be like early onset dementia. They'll come to us. We clear out our appliance space. We put all our trucks outside, and we've got quite a large space there. And one of our crew members, him and his wife, they cook up a load of stuff. So got some nice food. We put on like teas and coffees, and we set up a bit of a quiz. So just a bit of a fun quiz. So as we're talking to them, we're giving them the answers, and at the end of like obviously chat, we obviously then do the quiz, and hopefully they've remembered all the stuff that we've been dropping in there. It's just a bit of fun for them, fun for us, and it's just nice to engage with them. We make sure there's no issues with them in regards to like home fire safeties. We do a lot of home fire safeties. We like to try and do 20 a month. So obviously working with these guys as well, if anyone hasn't got a smoke alarm in their property, we'll take the details down, we'll go out and see them, and then obviously we'll install them, which is all free of charge as part of the service that we provide. And we just make sure they're okay, really. It's something different for them. We've got them coming to us again soon. We're just trying to finalise the date, and we're also going to be handing out some snap wristbands this time as well. So obviously, like, dementia isn't a nice thing, and what we may take for granted, obviously, if we're cooking, we know how to turn everything off. They may forget. So we've got these bands in order that they can put on when they're about to cook, and when they've finished, they can hopefully look at their wrist and realise, oh yeah, have I turned that appliance off? Have I turned the hob off? So it's just something they'll be rolling out when they come and visit us soon.
That's a super good idea, isn't it, really, that it can help them. You know, I used to work in the community doing home care and that sort of thing. A great sort of a little reminder is immense, because it can be so dangerous. I mean, gas in particular is one of the really big problems, isn't it? And that people have managed in that situation. I found over the years that sometimes families have had to disconnect cookers and things to look after their loved ones, and I think it's really incredible that you're opening up your space and you're bringing them in, and that stimulation by doing a little quiz as well is great. So they get that chance to, in a non-intrusive way as well, isn't it? You know, it's done in a fun, light-hearted way, and they get a meal. You know, they get some food as well, which is even better. You know.
Yeah, it's really nice. It is, and we give them the option as well that whoever wants to, they can have a little look around the station. So they get to see the different trucks. They have a little look and see where we might do our training. We sit down and have a tea break. So just because obviously some people have never visited the station, so it's just nice. It did go down very well. So that's something that we are looking to hopefully as well, kind of like branch out a little bit further. Within the community and across the county, and see if other stations can kind of like pick up on this as well, because it was quite successful. And we're looking to get the local council here, I think, the next one, Andy.
Yeah, we're trying to get a few more agencies involved, just to, you can feel quite isolated, can't you, when you're in that environment, especially obviously if we've got a member of a family suffering with dementia, if often another member of the family who's caring for them, so that carer can be the one who feels very isolated. Obviously they're slowly losing a loved one, but also they maybe have to take on the role in the family that person used to fulfill. So we're trying to get as many things in place as possible so that carer who's had that thrust upon them can reach out where they need to do. And we work with lots of different agencies across the blue light world, and obviously across the public sector in general, different services provided by the council that we can point them towards to hopefully make their life a little bit easier. And certainly I know in September when they're coming down, it's a Monday, is it 16th? I can't remember.
I think it is.
We've got it written down somewhere, don't worry. They're coming in. We're going to put on an RTC demonstration, so we're going to have some old cars on the yard at the back, and we can cut them up and show them what we do if we were to turn up in a situation where there's been a crash. Just for, it's quite entertaining, it's quite interesting watching that kind of thing. Can stimulate them as well. And again, it's us working in the community that we serve. This is a community fire station, and the community are at the heart of what we do. So the more we can get in, or the more we can get out, in and out to the community, then the better. There's loads of things that we do that are all about keeping people safe. And again, people being able to engage with us at St Austell, because when we've got 2 watches here, we've got Green Watch, which is our watch. So we do 4 days. And then the 4 days that we're off, you've got Orange Watch. And then the rest of the time, it's covered by the on-call. So, you are getting the same firefighters. So when we're out and about in the community, we're seeing the same people. And hopefully the community are seeing us, and we're getting a familiar face for them, so that if the worst happens and they do need us, because generally if you need the fire service, you're having a pretty rubbish day, then when we turn up, it is maybe a familiar face, a friendly face, and they know that we're gonna do our best to help them with whatever it is they're facing.
Let's talk very quickly about your fire station open day, because we're very excited here at Chaos Radio to be coming along and supporting you again on Saturday the 6th of September. Tell us a bit about that.
So Saturday the 6th of September starts at 10 o'clock. Yeah, we got our open day. Now, anyone who's been before will know how massive that is for us and for the town of St Austell. We get literally hundreds and hundreds of people coming through, don't we? Yeah. We've got appliances to look at. We've got loads of specials from across the county, coming from Newquay, coming from Tulvaden, coming from all over the place. We've got our specialist appliances here, with us being a specialist water rescue station. We've got the police coming. The paramedics are next door, so they'll be coming across. Coast Guard, RNLI, we got loads of people coming in. I think we've got the ukulele band again, coming down from St Denis. They were a massive success last year. And we've got loads of games, loads of things to win, loads of things to take part in. You can meet the crews, so we'll be down, Green Watch will be down, Orange Watch will be down, loads of the on-call will be down. It's a great way just to get to know us, for us to get to know you. And again, part of it is raising money as well. We do raise loads of money, which is fantastic. We have probably one of the best raffles you could ever imagine. The local businesses of St Austell and the surrounding areas are incredibly generous. We have loads of fantastic prizes, and we're raising money again, like Martin said, for the Firefighters charity. And our chosen charity this year, same as last year, same as we've done before, is Little Harbour, which is we went down there. When did we go down there? 6 months ago?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
we had a visit down there as a watch to present the cheque from last year, and there were 5 burly blokes, and I won't be afraid to say all of us, the tear in our eye at one point or another during the visit. The work they do down at Little Harbour for the poorly children is unbelievable. It can't be stated enough how amazing they are. So we chose, or as a station we've chosen, again, they're going to be our chosen charity to raise money for them, to help them, because what they do costs an awful lot of money, but means so much to the families who are going through a situation that we can't imagine when you've got healthy children, or you're not in that position yourselves.
I know.
So they're our chosen charities, and they're fantastic. They're on board with us and working hard with us. I've got one more little thing to plug, if I can.
Yeah, of course you can.
Please.
Go for it.
So we talked about this fire family, and it is like Green Watch here. We are like a family. We drive each other mad. We get cross with each other, but we also love each other, and we have a good laugh as well. And the fire family is it is a national thing, probably an international thing. So just an example of that, there is a firefighter from Shropshire who turning 30 this year. And she thought to turn 30 and to raise some money for charity, she wanted to walk the Southwest Coast Path. So a month and a half ago, something like that, she set off from Minehead, walked down the coast, down past Bude, Newquay, all the way around. And a couple of weeks ago, she got to St Austell. She'd planned ahead to hopefully get some support from stations along the way. So she came here, she stopped over at station, we gave her a meal, got her ready again, set her off on her way. She was a great girl. She's called Emily Jane Harding. She's an on-call firefighter from Shropshire. She's raising loads of money for, let me just have a look, for the Firefighters charity, for the Veterans Foundation, and for the Southwest Coast Path Association. So she's just got past Plymouth. So what I would say is have a look on Facebook for her, Emily Jane Harding. Have a look on Facebook, have a look on Just Giving, and if you can, help her out, because it is one hell of a challenge. When she got to us, she was pretty tired. She had a rest day. She went up to Eden Project for the day. They very kindly let her in to have a look around up there, and we fed her up, and then off she went on her way again. So she's just got past Plymouth. I know she's struggling a bit at the moment in terms of slightly injured. So any help that anyone could give her would be amazing. But that's that whole fire family thing. So we could go anywhere in the country and knock on a fire station, and we'd be welcomed in, which is fantastic, as she was here. So if anyone can, if anyone's got a spare couple of quid, then do throw it that way, please. We'd appreciate it, and she would definitely appreciate it. She's still got over 200 miles to go till she gets to Poole near Bournemouth. But it's a heck of an achievement that she's doing. But it's really hard. So any additional support would be very much appreciated.
NEWSWAVE.
Right, so I'm Tom Howe, and you're listening to NEWSWAVE here on Chaos Radio. Transparent Presence CIC have been shortlisted for a National Diversity Awards in recognition of their work supporting and celebrating the transgender and non-binary communities of Cornwall and their families. Since 2019, they have delivered LGBTQ+ and neurodivergent inclusive training, support groups, wellbeing sessions, choirs, and live music events across Cornwall, while also identifying safe spaces through their Ally business scheme. Annie Kenton joins Cheryl Gordon to share their journey, impact, and excitement ahead of the upcoming awards ceremony in Liverpool on September the 19th.
NEWSWAVE.
So we're a support group, a not-for-profit support group. We support transgender and non-binary people in the local community, but more importantly as well, we also support their families and friends. When my spouse transitioned, we realised that it's a journey for everybody, and not just the person. And at the time, in 2018, when we first set up informally, there weren't any groups that were offering anything for the kind of the spouses and the families. So we, as we often do, 2 o'clock in the morning, tearful kind of chat, and then we're like, do you know what, let's just do it ourselves. We offer a wide range of stuff, including all the things you listed earlier, to kind of bring people together, provide safe spaces for them to just be themselves and be authentic.
It can be really hard for people going through different journeys to, it can be complicated, it can be hard, it can be lonely. So by you providing this support for people, it must be, you've been through that journey as well. And for you to then be able to support other people must be incredibly heartwarming.
Well, when we heard that we'd been nominated for the award, it was incredibly humbling, because we're like, we've had 4 directors, but my spouse and I, Elliot, we set it up originally, and to think that something that came out of a time of real pain, really, and kind of loneliness and not knowing where to turn, has turned into something that's made a difference to so many people, to the point where people nominated us for the National Diversity Awards under the community organisation category. I pinch myself really to think that's us, we've done that.
Oh, it's really nice. And you do some work in the St Austell area? Yeah,
so we have a monthly social support group. It's really important to us that we're out in the community. So our social support sessions happen at AJ's in Calliope Bay on the first Monday of every month. And people just come along, they talk about anything and everything. So they might be talking about their transition, they might be talking about their journey or their experiences as a non-binary person, or they might just be talking about their favourite film, or their latest DIY project, or their latest hyperfocus. It's just about people coming together and being their true selves and finding friendship and community. But what's important to us is, because we're in the public, other people are seeing us and going, actually, there isn't anything to fear from a transgender person, which unfortunately isn't the message that's always in the mainstream media.
Yeah, 100%, and it's been over the last 12 months. It's been in the media massively, isn't it?
Yeah, since April and the Supreme Court ruling, it's been really difficult for the trans and non-binary community, and actually for anyone who doesn't conform to kind of typical gender norms, because you've now got people who, for some reason, and this is not what the ruling said, but some reason feel empowered to challenge people going into public toilets and single-sex spaces, for example. So, for example, I was assigned female at birth. I have been challenged going into female toilets because I dress in quite a masked way. My teenage daughter, when she was kind of 8, 9, 10, real tomboy, was constantly being challenged, and it's really degrading to not be able to just go to the loo in peace. That's all you want to do.
Yeah, you're not out there to make a scene or cause anybody any discomfort. You're just about being you, and you're being a human being at the end of the day. So a human being with feelings that needs to be respected.
Yeah, exactly. And so we're here just to work with, we've got quite a few local businesses that are part of our ally scheme, so they've signed up to say that they treat people with respect, they provide safe spaces, they are going to be kind of accepting and inclusive, and value everybody as human beings, and so they proudly put a plaque up on their buildings, and they are able to access our training, so that their staff really know how to support people. And I think that's really important, because at the moment places can feel safe for the LGB community but not always for the T community. So those safe space ally plaques are kind of a real beacon of hope for some people who might be really early in their transition, not feeling confident. I made my new word up then. Comfortable.
I like that.
Comfortable or confident going out into the world on their own as their authentic self. And so knowing that those spaces are space is kind of a real beacon for them.
Absolutely. And like if they're starting a new job, for instance, and going into an environment where they see that plaque there, that's massive. So huge. The more that we can spread that word and people displaying that plaque as well can make a massive difference.
Yeah, so pop onto our website and there's a Google form to apply.
There you go, look. You heard it here first from Annie. So tell us a little bit more about the award. When are you heading off and all that sort of thing?
Yeah, so we were nominated and then people voted. And I guess we had to submit kind of evidence of the kind of things we do. So we sent through information about our inclusive choir, about our youth group, the support sessions we run. And we were actually on a whole family holiday and found out that we'd got through to the finals through Cornwall Pride's Facebook post because we hadn't checked our emails, which was kind of weird. Everyone knew before we did. But yeah, we're heading up to Liverpool on the 18th, ready for the award ceremony on the 19th. And we've got to work out what black tie attire looks like for a bunch of people who are kind of gender non-conforming. I think I'm going to go in a tux. I would not do some kind of ball gown. That's not me. So I'm thinking a tux. Elliot's looking at all kind of different options, and then I'm not sure about the other two that are coming with us. But it's going to be really exciting to be sitting amongst a room full of other incredible organisations. I know the Autistic Community of Cornwall. They were nominated and went up a while ago. I think it was a couple of years ago. So we are standing amongst some incredible organisations that support the community. It's just great to be in the room. To be honest, it's exciting.
Oh. Annie, we've really got to follow up once you've been, because I want to hear all about the event that's going on. For anybody that's listening today and they feel like maybe they might be struggling and don't know where to turn, how can they get in touch with you to get that support that they might need?
So if you go to transparentpresence.co.uk, there is a contact form on there, so you can get through. That would email through to me, and we'll be in touch. But remember, you're not alone. We have our monthly support groups. We have twice a month, we have wellbeing sessions. We've got our weekly inclusive choir. We've got our monthly youth groups with carers. So there's lots out there for everybody, no matter what your circumstances. And it's really important that you know that actually there's your tribe out there waiting to embrace you, make you feel welcomed, and make you know that you are worthy of existing. You are worthy of being happy.
Yeah, exactly. You couldn't have put it any better, really, to be honest. And it's lovely to hear these things going on. More and more, we learn things about St Austell's my hometown, and more all the time. I'm hearing such amazing things that are going on, and I've said this to other people. I was talking to the mayor of St Austell a few weeks back, and we were saying about how much negativity there is around St Austell, calling it St Awful, as we know, and it's not like that. See the better side, look for the better side, and know that there is that support and guidance there for you.
Yeah, there are some amazing community organisations out there in St Austell, so yeah, don't be afraid to reach out.
Look at and do follow Transparent Presence CIC on their social medias as well, because you've got to keep an eye. I'm sure you're going to post some of the pictures of the event of you.
We will, and hopefully we'll be looking fabulous.
Oh, I'm sure you will. Whatever you decide. We were just discussing about clothing. I hate choosing clothing at the best of times, so good luck to you. But yeah, good luck to you. I hope it all goes well. I hope you win, and whatever happens, be proud of the fact that you've got as far as you have, and maybe next year you'll win it. But I think this year it's going to be your year, eh?
Yeah, hopefully so.
Oh, it's been lovely. Thank you for coming into Chaos and talking to us this morning. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here, Annie, and hopefully speak to you soon.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
NEWSWAVE.
Right, situated on the Roseland Peninsula, Chaos Farm work with a variety of individuals and groups within the community. They also deliver specialist equine assisted learning and farm placement days, as well as growing nutrient-rich foods in their market garden, which is distributed to the local community through food larders. Every month, Rich Hardy, head grower at Chaos Farm, joins Brier to share more.
NEWSWAVE.
I'm Rich Hardy. I'm head grower here at Chaos Farm, and Chaos Farm is a care farm that's split between care farming around animals and care farming around horticulture, and I focus on the horticulture.
We've not actually caught up in a while. I feel it's been a couple of months because we've both been really, really busy. But how's everything been going up at the farm over the past couple of months?
Yeah, well, I'm sorry we've missed out for a couple of months, but it's we're playing catch up a little bit, and I think we finally caught up. We had a bit of a difficult spring. It was very dry and summery quite early on in spring, and we were struggling getting the new crops established in the ground without them sort of drying out, because we weren't getting a lot of rain at the time. So it was a little bit tricky to start things off, but we've caught ourselves up a little bit now, and things are going well.
Good. That kind of, it leads me into one of my questions, was how has the warmer weather impacted operations up there? Because I've been seeing a lot of reports online, like bread's going to go up to £5 in the autumn, and we're not going to have any fruit and vegetables for Christmas. Is that true?
Oh, definitely. I think, the climate crisis is making it a real challenge now for, what and how and when we plant. And, there's farmers with bigger problems than we have here on the farm, that's for sure. But I think the approach that we take at the farm kind of mitigates some of those uncertainties. And generally what we're trying to do is mulch our beds. By mulching, I'm meaning adding sort of like, composts, plant materials, anything that we can get hold of that keeps the moisture in the ground and serving the purposes of getting the plants growing, we do. And I think that's the thing that makes us a little bit different. And it's the kind of approach that a lot of market gardens in Cornwall use. Mulching their beds, regular compost applications, and therefore you're taking the pressure off watering at that point. And lots of big farms don't have that kind of material to hand, so don't apply the same techniques.
So we've seen, obviously you can't deny it's getting hotter and hotter year on year. How have you seen the change in what you're doing at the farm?
Yeah, so it's everything's a little less predictable. Summers seem to be coming a little bit earlier. Yeah. Winters perhaps don't seem as wet as what they have been in the past. The seasons are shifting, and we have to shift with that. But I think the techniques that we use here at the farm and other sort of market gardens in Cornwall, are helping with that process, because we are using lots of compost and mulching. People are using wood chips on paths to keep moisture in. We're doing all that we can to sort of reduce the amount of water that we use to keep the plants healthy and strong. So big commercial farms, they don't have that kind of access to that kind of material, and they're still very reliant on tractors and heavy machinery to do the jobs that we do by hand. And I think they're struggling more, and as a result you can be expecting certain shortages later in the year of certain products.
Absolutely. Can we talk about a little bit about what the crops we've been growing this year? Has the weather impacted what you've kind of thought and chosen to put in the ground?
Yeah, definitely. We had a really good year with carrots last year, but this year we've really struggled. We've done several sowings, and they've all struggled. We finally got our fourth sowing going, and we will have a few carrots to go in the larders this year. But otherwise, everything's gone okay. We've got lots of summer crops in the polytunnels right now. Heaps of tomatoes, kilos and kilos a week going out to the larders. Cucumbers, aubergines, peppers, chilies, they're all really going strong. And outdoor crops are the same. We've got plenty of beans pumping through at the moment, lots of beetroots. Beetroots do really well here, and actually they're a really great vegetable, perhaps undervalued and underused, but really versatile in your everyday cooking. So everything's looking good, and at the moment we're now starting to turn our attention to autumn and winter.
How are we starting to prepare for autumn and winter? I don't want to think about it because we are still in August, but it is only a couple of months away, really. It's going to start winding down and getting colder.
Yeah, it's funny. We have to be thinking about this in the the hottest of weeks in Cornwall. We're looking ahead at winter right now, but we've already got a fair few seeds on the go and some young seedlings, just like doing their little thing in the propagation tunnel right now. So they'll be ready to plant out in probably about 3-4 weeks, and we're talking about kales and some beetroots, leeks.
Nice.
They're all doing pretty well at the moment, and through August, September, October, what we'll really be looking to plant is more sort of garlics, which will take us through, and then be ready to get into the larders sort of May, June time next year. But they'll be in the polytunnels, and it's good to have them in the polytunnels because planting garlics outside are quite prone to rust at the moment. So if you want to get away from the rust that you might be getting on any sort of alliums like leeks or garlics, you can sort of do them undercover, and they do pretty well. We've also got sort of broad beans, field beans going in October time. But before that, we're doing sort of spinaches, the Asian greens, lots of pak choys, tatsoys, lettuce for winter.
Nice.
So there's plenty of leafy greens.
Yeah, no,
they do really well.
It's interesting that, obviously you've got to propagate these and you've got to get little seedlings, because even we're saying it's crazy to think about it now, but realistically you're thinking about that maybe a month or two before that to get ready. Crop planning is a real challenge for lots of little market gardeners, and especially when it comes to chaos, when you've got 3 sites that you're growing at. It's what do I need to get on now? What have we got? And then what's failed, because you can't take your eye off seedlings in a propagation tunnel for more than a couple of hours, because they can easily dry out, and that's it. You've missed your chance. Amazing. Up at the farm as well, I've noticed a couple of new faces. You've had a few new people join your team, I think.
Yeah, we're really lucky that we've got a couple of extra veg growers on the team now. We are growing food across 3 sites. So, a few extra green fingers around the place will help us deliver more for the larders. And that's what we're all about, getting food into the larders and getting people having experiences with us through the volunteer program. So, welcoming Sally and Ross to the farm in the recent weeks.
I can't wait to meet them. I don't think I've met them yet. I might have maybe seen 1 or 2 when I've been up and about. So I've also seen lots of new faces in the form of volunteer corporate volunteer days. What happens on these days? Do you just kind of put them straight to work? Is that you're digging out the horses poo at the moment?
Jess and I kind of split the day, so they spend a bit of time with Jess doing the equine work, and then they spend half a day with us in the horticulture area. And we've got a little schedule for them for the day. It's not too intense because we don't want them to feel like they're just being abused for their time here at the farm. It's it's a time where they get to take a step back from what they do, bond together as a team, and I feel like they do that. It's full of laughs and joy, and they go away with a big smile on their face. But they're doing what we do as gardeners do. So it's a range of tasks.
I think the easiest way to bond as a team is almost just having one common goal together and being outside. I feel like that's just the recipe for it.
Absolutely. You put them to put them into the market garden, give them a growing bed to plant up with carrots or beets or whatever, and they're just in there having fun. It's 25 foot of growing space that they've got to fill with plants, and they're just laughing their way through it, to be honest.
Sounds so nice. If anyone is listening and would like to get in touch about corporate volunteer days, how can they do that? Is it by email?
Yeah, if you contact us through the usual channels at Chaos, we will see if we can find a slot for you. It'll normally be a sort of a day, 10 till 4, that kind of thing. I know we're quite busy with a lot of Cornwall Council departments who are visiting us over the coming few weeks, but if there's room for others to join, then we'll make sure we try and offer that.
Absolutely. Is there anything else that you'd like to mention before we wrap up?
Well, just we're sort of measuring and weighing the amount of produce we produce for the community larders now, and we're not far off a ton from this season.
That's amazing.
Which is it's a really big target for us to reach. I think that's going to feed a lot of families over the summer and into autumn. So around about a ton figure. We're now sort of like stretching ourselves to see if we can deliver even more between now and the end of the year, because that's what this project's all about. It's getting food to people in poverty that need it most, and we want to make sure that we do it well and that it's healthy and nutritious for them to access.
Absolutely. And finally, where can people keep up with what you're up to online?
It's just generally checking out our social media channels. We've got Chaos Farm at Chaos Farm with Instagram and Facebook. Find us there. Give us a comment, share it around, and we'll keep feeding you with that day-to-day joy that we get here.
Absolutely, I do love the Chaos Farm socials because it's just generally like really wholesome stuff. I just love looking at it. It's lovely.
NEWSWAVE.
Last but by no means least, Dance Centred CIC is a not-for-profit company that's dedicated to making dance accessible, meaningful and inspiring for all. It's rooted in the belief that movement can spark creativity, build resilience and strengthen communities at the same time. Their latest initiative, Move Together, is a creative dance project designed for women affected by cancer, which is now expanding to St Austell after successful sessions in Newquay. Sam Lawrence, co-director at Dance Centred CIC, spoke to Cheryl about their work and their impact.
NEWSWAVE.
So I'm co-director of Dance Centred CIC alongside Lois Taylor. We are both dance artists, and the idea of Dance Centred is that we bring dance to lots of different people in lots of different places and really celebrate the joy of moving. And we're really interested in bringing dance to people who might find it difficult to access dance usually. So we take it to people where they're at, or we often provide projects that are targeting a particular group for whom there are barriers to going along to dance classes. Often, sometimes we take dance into people's homes via our physical postcards initiative. We're all about making dance accessible to everybody.
Sounds very exciting. Your work centres around the power of movement and dance. Could you expand on, a bit on the benefits of this?
Oh goodness, yes. I mean, I think more and more we are seeing evidence shared about the value of dance. I mean, we already know the value of physical activity. That's been something that's kind of widely shared for a long time. But I think that the real beauty of dance is that it combines the benefits of physical activity with creativity, social connection, and really deeply reconnecting with the body in a meaningful way. So there's all those added benefits as well as moving. And I think that there's a lot of evidence to show the physical and mental health benefits of taking part in dance. And also it's a beautiful art form for everyone to enjoy.
I mean, definitely, since I say this quite often, since COVID, we are looking more and more at our own mental health and how it can benefit. So if something like this can benefit someone's mental health in some way or another, this has got to be a positive spin, full stop, hasn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's a win-win.
Yeah. What inspired Move Together, and what can participants expect from the sessions?
Well, we have been running dance sessions within health and wellbeing contexts of many kinds for a long time, and we're very aware of the number of people who are experiencing cancer or who have experience of cancer. And there was some really amazing training available with an organisation called Move Dance Feel, which is called Dancing Cancer Care. And as part of developing our general inclusive practice, we did some training with Macmillan in cancer awareness. And it was really just a sort of quite an organic process, really. The more we developed our practice, we realised that there was a place for dance work that was specifically targeting women affected by cancer. And the more people we talked to, we developed really strong partnerships with community and health workers. And the more we spoke to them, we realised there was a real need and a complete gap in provision. At the time of those conversations, there was absolutely no physical activity provision specifically targeting women with cancer or affected by cancer. So that led to us seeking funding to run a pilot. And after trying that out, we got some funding with Active Cornwall supported the pilot project in Newquay. We ran that for 8 weeks and the response was incredible. We were really overwhelmed. It was fully booked within about 2 weeks, and our evaluation showed us that there was a real need and potential to grow and develop this. And that was 3.5 years ago. So that's how that's evolved, and we have continued to develop our skills and our practice and our training in response to the work and very much in dialogue with the women who come, which is really valuable. And then in terms of what could someone expect from a Move Together session, well, it's free, which is a really important factor. So there's no payment involved, because one of the things we discovered was having cancer is really expensive. There are a lot of hidden costs associated with having cancer. Even just travelling to Trellisk backwards and forwards, and the parking, just things like that. But also there are loads of additional costs and financial burdens that someone with cancer has. So we felt it was really important that it was free so that everyone could access it. It's an opportunity to really enjoy moving and being creative and reconnecting with the body and feeling held within a group of really supportive women who all share experience of cancer. And we found that that's been really important. Women who come can expect to move quite freely, find their own movement, but also learn some moves. We do learn routines sometimes as well. Sometimes we choreograph dances, we laugh, we breathe, we chat, and we relax. We spend a lot of time really, really relaxing. And there'll always be great music. That's something that we place a great value on, and the chance to move at your own pace. That's something that we have learnt more and more the importance of, and I think one of the women described it as, this is exercise on your terms. Sometimes we draw, scribble, write poetry. Sometimes we're quite playful. Sometimes we're deeply meditative and really connect to our senses. And afterwards, there is always the opportunity for the women to get together and have a cuppa and a chat. And that's something that's just organically grown. There's a cafe downstairs where we have the sessions in Newquay. And it just grew, really, that the women now book a table and those that want to can sit and have a really good chat.
Oh, that sounds absolutely inspiring, that does, Sam. And I think for people that have been in that situation, to be able to be with like-minded people is incredible. For anybody that's listening, Sam, who might want to get involved or get on board with your project, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, we can, anyone that wants to get involved can have a look at our website. We have a lovely website, dance-centred, and on there is a special page for Move Together, and you can book directly through the website. There is just a button that says book for Move Together, and you click on that button and it opens a form. And there's also a phone number on there as well if you want to just give us a ring, or an email. So people can email info@dancecentre.co.uk as a way of just getting in touch to ask questions, or go to the website and there'll be information on there. We have a taster session on the 24th of September at 10:30 a.m. at Studio 4, and anyone is welcome to come along to that just to try it out. But yeah, all the information's on our website.
Oh, fantastic job. It's been really a pleasure speaking to you today, Sam. Thank you so much for your time. I'm sure you're a very incredibly busy lady. And, do get in touch with us again, because we can follow your progress and see how well it's going and what difference it's making within our community. So once again, thank you very much, Sam, for talking to us today.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you.
NEWSWAVE.
Okay, that's all we've got time for on this week's edition of NEWSWAVE. A big Chaos Radio thank you to Mark Hoskin of Higher Tregorrick Farm, fire officers Andrew Brier and Martin Giles from St Austell Community Fire Station, Rich Hardy, head grower at Chaos Farm, Annie Kenton, co-founder and director of Transparent Presence CIC, and of course to Sam Lawrence, co-director of Dance Centred CIC. And as ever, a final thank you to you for listening and helping support local journalism to thrive. To catch up on all our coverage, as well as to check out our extensive back catalogue of interviews and shows, head on over to chaos.radio. And remember, if you have a local news story that you'd like to share with us, email news@chaos.radio or search Chaos Radio UK across socials. That's it. You're up to date here on Chaos. I'm Tom Howe. Thank you so much for listening. Whatever you're doing this week, be sure to keep it chaos.
NEWSWAVE.
Chaos.radio. Music, podcasts, entertainment.